Hey there guys, so the last time in the anime, we saw that Zenos was running an illegal clinic in the slums, but he had a good set of harem always hitting on him anyways. All healers gets their license from Royal Healers Academy, but since Zenos was an orphan he never got the chance to acquire one. But while he was out on a home visit to a patient, he saw a noble being targeted by his own slave. Normally healers can't fight, but Zenos was just built differently. He quickly got the slave girl on ground and saw she was possessed by a ghost, so Zenos took care of it, but he didn't heal that noble for free. He asked the slave girl as his payment to save his sorry, and later he freed the girl. That's how Zenos was living out a quiet life alongside the girls who were after him. But that wasn't the case in the beginning. First of all, when Zenos wasn't running this clinic, he used to be a party member of a fairly famous adventurers party. But the leader named Aston decided to kick him out and gave a gold coin to Zenos. That guy had found Zenos on the street and took him in, so Zenos always thought they were friends. But the leader always saw Zenos as disposable livestock, and now that they have climbed the ladders, he wants to kick out Zenos. Zenos was actually the one keeping all of them in top shape. But now that leader wants to be recognized by the royal family. He doesn't want a dirty slum dweller in his party. That's why he gave out that gold coin to Zenos to keep his mouth shut. Zenos got it and left without causing a scene, but in those dark alleys, two goons have caught a little elf girl to sell her out. She somehow got away from that guy. But he shot her leg with his arrow, yet she was persistent to run away, and the guy ends up stabbing her in anger. She was a lost cause already, but Zenos saw this and bought the girl from them. She was about to die, so the goons got whatever they got out of her. The girl thought she would die, but Zenos healed her fatal wound. For once the girl couldn't believe Zenos saved her. But then Lily thanked him and thought he must be a famous healer, so Zenos told her he's just a commoner anyways. Zenos bought a set of clothes and took her to eat something even though he was broke. That's why he thought of sending her to an orphanage, but her being elf would make things complicated again. So Zenos thought of looking for a job first, and just then a guy with an injured arm entered the tavern. It was a bullet hole from a magic gun, and Zenos knew this much is child's play for him. He healed him up with ease, and Lily tells the dude Zenos is a super amazing healer. That's why he gave out some money to Zenos and leaves. Zenos didn't know treating people will make him earn money. So that gives him the idea to open up a clinic, but since he doesn't have a license, running it legally would be difficult, so he'll become an underground healer, and Lily was on board to help him out. Zenos had second thoughts about letting a kid accompany him on an illegal business, but Lily was bent on helping him out. She got ticked that Zenos thought of leaving her after buying her like that, so Zenos agreed to let her live with him until they find a good place for her to stay. After that they came to the slums to look for an abandoned building, and luckily they found a decent one, but Lily was scared because places like this are homes to wraith. They are undead monsters who make anyone ghost just by touching them. But Zenos still decided to enter, and Lily made a light ball with her magic. The house was decent, and the pillars were strong too, but their Lily's nightmare came out. It's a wraith, and Zenos didn't even let her near him. Back in the days, Aston had used Zenos as a meat shield off den, and he fought hundreds of this wraith monsters alone, so one such as her wasn't a problem. Carmilla got so ticked and she called out many other ghosts to attack, but Zenos blew them away with a breeze. He told Carmilla he just needs a place to make a clinic and bedroom. And Camilla had no choice but to give out the first floor to him. That's how Zenos opened his clinic, but there were no customers, so Lily thought of advertising it outside, but it would make their clinic visible to the royal hospital, which could lead to trouble. Yet Zenos knew there would be customers, and right there the guy from earlier got back. Zenos knew a guy with a gun. Shot won't go to the hospital because he must be involved in shady things. His name was Zond, and he brought the patient with him. She was his own sister, and she had also a gunshot injury in her arm. Zenos saw her injury was different. She was shot with a poison bullet, and that has caused her arm to decay. Zenos had once become a test subject himself, so he knows this stuff, and now the only way to fix is cut the arm. And for that he wants to charge $1,000,000. Zofia saw he's charging her this much because he knows who she is. Actually, Zenos had no idea that she's one of the bosses who rules the slums. She steals from Croak Merchant and spreads a portion of it on poor, and Zofia thinks Zenos is charging much to just cut off an arm. But Zenos wasn't going to just cut it out. He'll regenerate it as well. He thought every healer do this, but actually no one can. He even made a blade for mana to perform the surgery. He casted a spell alongside it to slow the blood flow. and then started the regeneration from bones, then nerves, muscles, tissue, and finally the skin. It was a miracle happening, but they saw he has a wraith as housemates. Zenos vowed she's harmless, and Zofia decided to send all her people here for treatment. After that, Lily makes out 3 cups of tea. The third one was for Carmilla. Lily told her to be careful because it's hot, but she didn't listen. Anyways, Lily was puzzled why lizardmen were always injured, and Zenos said it's due to scuffle with some other gang. Slums are ruled by 3 gangs: Lizardman, Orc and Wolfsman, and Wolfsman boss. Linda came to kill Zenos because he's healing all of Zofia's men, but her attack didn't get through. So she sent out her men, but Zenos was like, "Did we have enough?" Linda got pissed, so she ordered to destroy the house. Zenos tried to warn them, but they didn't listen, and now Carmilla was ticked. So Zenos asked her not to kill anyone because clinic is to save life, not take it, but he was happy she got angry for him. Carmilla got shy and went off, but Linda realized her mistake. Wolfsman naturally submits to higher being like Wraith and Vampire, so she backed off, and the next day, leader of the third gang wished to meet Zenos. And right there our episode 2 ends, so stay tuned to watch the next episode, and for that subscribe the channel, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Till then, take care.